Okay,
So let's go back to some of the policies
okay.
that we think are working.
Okay, so I think there's some policies that are helping Black people. I really appreciate that the city offers a lot of policies around economic development, small business loans, for example, forgivable loans. If the people, they have a really wonderful program to help people start their own businesses. So like the food incubator that the old at the old Jay's cafeteria at 18th and Muhammad Ali. I like what they're doing with vacant and abandoned properties where they're selling houses for $1. If you can rehab those houses, I think those policies will help Black people not only reclaim some properties that once were ours in the West End that may be dilapidated, but also help them reach economic empowerment because flipping houses can be a big business. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't know that those programs exist. So I think that while there's a lot of wonderful programs, a lot of Black people don't necessarily know they exist, and so people who are not Black usually find themselves having access to those programs or taking advantage of them. I also wanted to say that when it comes to things like credit, for example, I was saying that I think that entrepreneurship is a really big topic now, but unfortunately, for most of us who are of the age to be entrepreneurs, we've already ruined our credit for whatever reasons, right? So when we're 18, 19, we don't know about credit or credit cards. We've already gotten cell phones in our names or had a house or a car, not a house, but like a car and apartment and had repos or evictions. And so when you finally reach an age of maturity and ready to kind of reach a middle life and start your own business, well, maybe you have to now do credit repair. Whereas I think a lot of our white peers are either taught from a very early age about entrepreneurship or have a certain financial luxury of not having to do those same kinds of things. So they can be 21 years old and open a boutique in the Highlands. You're like, well, how are you 20 years old with your own boutique? And here I am, 30 or 40 something, trying to struggle to get my business off the ground. So I think that we simply need to figure out better ways to articulate to Black people, number one, about what is money, and what are finances, what is credit. I think the Black people culturally have had a reluctance to talk about things like financial statuses. And, my grandfather used to always hide his wallet when he was paying some bill. He wouldn't let you see how much he has. And we just never talked about those kind of things. And so I think that uh, we have some great economic empowerment opportunities in the city if more Black people get exposed to them and find out about them.
That is a really good segue into my next question, which was, how do you, in your opinion, is the most effective way to reach African Americans in the city and get them involved in these policy decisions?
I would like to see there be more Black elected officials. Number one, I think that Black people have to run more. I think it's up to the old Black guard, those Black politicians who've been around for 20 or 30 years, to be very intentional about creating mentorship programs, but then also knowing when it's time to get out of the way. Louisville has had a very, very bad habit of folks get elected to a position that they stay there for 20 or 30 years. I mean, there are people who have been in office since I was in Pampers, right? And, and not to say that there's not value in having elders around, but my thing is, whatever you haven't done in 25 years, you ain't going to do it 4 more. So, right, you just need to make space for young people because otherwise there's no passing of the knowledge. Um, so I'd love to see there be much of an investment by Black politicians and Black elected officials in creating space for new blood to come in. That's important. I would like to see there be more Black-led institutions and corporations. I think that Black people hear things best from other Black people, believe it or not. And so I think that when you see people that look like you telling you certain things, you can receive them better. So I think that the best way to get messages to Black people is through Black people, and that sounds a lot different than someone who doesn't look like me pandering a message to me that I may or may not buy into. And so I think that we just need to diversify all aspects of the city from politics to business to recreation. I think that we just need a much more diverse field of members and leaders, and that'll help Black people of all sorts feel like they're part of the process.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Good.
That's pretty much
Awesome.
all of it.
Good.